Welcome everyone to day number 26 of Codetober. In today's video, I am going to show you the last function that I have until today in my scripts repository. So this one is called containsEmptyValues. This may sound familiar to you. I have several other articles and blog posts about it. So if it sounds familiar, that's why. Let's go into it and copy the code. Okay, this is pretty simple. The functionality is pretty simple. The thing that can be hard to understand is maybe the different ways to do this. In this case, I just have 3 different ways, but if you have read the blog post that I've written, I have 6 different ways to getting to this result, but I believe 2 or 3 of them don't 100% work with the requirement. So these 3 are the ones that I would really recommend to use, depending on whichever you prefer, but the 3 of them work. So the thing is that we receive an array, and the array can contain whatever values. It can be objects, strings, numbers, nulls, whatever. And the thing is that I want to verify that whether the string, the array contains empty values or not. And actually, this can also accept a null. So let me write this: contains empty values. Let's select the first one and then let's say null. All right. So if there is an empty value, like for example in this one we have an array and then we have a string with a 1 and a null. So this does contain empty values. This is true. And then on the second one, this is false because it doesn't contain empty values at all. This one contains empty values. There is an empty string. And this one contains empty values because it is a null. So the only 2 things that we will be receiving according to the requirement is either a null or an array with whichever types of values that can be. So there are 3 ways to do it. The first way is using the arrays module. So we have the sum function. I'm going to explain it in the next video. But basically we're putting a condition. If the array or the value that comes here is empty, then return true. If not, then do this function. So check our sum is empty. And then the result of that will be either true or false. The second one is using pattern matching. So we already saw in a previous video how match case works. In this case, we match if there is like an empty array, this is going to be true. If this is an array, then let's do the same thing that we did here. So a, which is the variable that we have here, sum is empty. And else, just do isEmptyR, which is what we did right here. Then we have function overloading. So in this case, we have 2 functions that are named the same thing. So containsEmptyValues 3. And on the first one, we are accepting a null. So if we receive a null, this is going to be true. If we receive an array, then we're going to do this whole thing again, which is similar to this one. So those are the 3 different ways to do it, using the arrays module, using the pattern matching, and in theory this also uses the arrays module, and the function overloading, which also uses this sum function from the arrays module. So give it a try, do some QA to it if you want. On the next video, I am going to explain the sum function from the arrays module. And I don't know if there's something else from here that I can explain. Oh, I can explain function overloading. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna explain those two things on the next video. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video. Bye.